Well, when we last left Cole, he was all tied up. What can you tease about what's coming? What kind of torture his brothers are going to put him through in the next episode?
Uh, just, I mean, you can see the smile on Joseph Morgan's face last night when he had Finn and I. And you just know, as soon as any of those boys, they know pain better than anybody around. And so whatever you're going to see is going to push them to the absolute limit of, mentally and physically. And that's what's quite interesting. That's why when they're there, they absolutely know there isn't, that they're in for quite a ride, and that will be quite an entertaining ride. Not for me. I hated every second of it.
Do you feel like Cole should be more terrified of Klaus or of Marcel at this point?
You know what? I think of Marcel as Cole as slightly less able to do as much damage, and that's quite a. The problem with that is when Marcel does get hold of me, is that he can spring things on me that I'm not entirely ready for. I think that he's yeah. Well, I was going to say double team there, but that sounds terrible. But there's a degree of them gaining and knowing the points to push and physical boundaries and the mental boundaries of what that is. So both of them are equally as persuasive.
Should he perhaps be more scared of Davina and what she's going to do now that she thinks he's the one who took the white out?
Yeah, she's a vicious witch, isn't she? She's yes. I mean, the thing is that when you're dealing with any of these characters, the arsenal at their array, the array of kind of arsenal and weapons that they can use is so powerful that any character, when you go into this world, you're going to be flung around, smashed around. Your head is going to explode at some point, and you're going to be pushed in these ways. So when they are tied up, I remember reading the end of that episode and going, "Oh God, I know that this next episode is going to be emotionally taxing and physically taxing." And it turned out it was. Yeah, which is fun.
What is Caleb thinking of his mother these days?
Well, it's funny because the language of that family is violence and manipulation and mistrust. So there's some great stuff in the next episodes, just in terms of the cycle of violence and the cycle of pain inflicted. And so it's quite an interesting, when you get, other than presenting the violence that happens, the next few episodes are quite interested in knowing why that cycle exists, and then not only why that cycle exists, why it is perpetuated by these pretty kind of tempestuous characters, including his mother and father, who, I mean, which is I think quite an interesting thing, because you always look to your parents to be the kind of bastions of kind of responsibility, and they exhibit none of these qualities whatsoever. And that's what's quite interesting about these brothers and these sisters, is they're all born into this world, and they are products of this cycle of violence that really is not was given to them, that they grew up in, and so we are kind of living out this thing, and that's why I like, particularly 9, 10, 11 and 12, I liked those episodes, because you get to why that happens, which is quite entertaining.